Well, howdy. Been a while since I made a video. I've been out of work for a couple of weeks and I've got a rotator cuff tendonitis on my left shoulder. So I've been kind of taking it easy and been out of work this last couple of weeks. That's a whole story I'm not even going to get into. Hoping to go back next week. Just waiting on the doctor. Anyways, I wanted to make a video, and the only thing I have right now is I want to kind of look into this truck. It's been sitting back here in timeout corner since, what, February or March or whatever. A little backstory on this truck. It's a 302 powered F-150, 1985. In the previous videos, I've converted it over to a carburetor instead of EFI. And actually went through a couple of carburetors. Initially I started with an eBay 2-barrel carburetor. That was stupid. It barely run. And then I went to an Edelbrock 4-barrel carburetor. And I ran pretty good for a while with that. And then I started having some weird issues with that carburetor. So I sold it to a friend and put a Holley Quick Fuel 400. I think it was a 450. I think it was a 450. And this thing just runs like a top with it. And I also put a 5-speed in and did a 4-wheel drive swap. I can link those videos down below if you got any. For those of you that are new and haven't seen any of that stuff. We've got quite a bit of videos on this truck here. So anyways, what happened was when we were last driving it, I say we, like me and my friends were riding in it. We were coming out of North Plains, cruising along at well, probably 65. I don't know how accurate the speedometer is, but it said 65. And coolant temp was fine. Nothing really out of the ordinary. It was running absolutely fantastic. Had plenty of power. It was actually getting decent fuel economy. I think I was probably getting about 15 miles to the gallon out of it doing 65, which, you know, gas, carbureted, V8, I'll take it, you know. Well, anyways, we were coming up on my turnoff to go home, and I started smelling coolant. Well, one of the freeze plugs blew out on this thing, and I think it's one of those freeze plugs that has like the little warranty, you know, popper outer thing in case you overheated it. This one just happened to pop. You know, we could have just waited till we got home, but no. So it popped. It's in the front, behind the power steering pump somewhere, but down below, not up high. So naturally it wouldn't hold any coolant. I drove it anyways. I got halfway home, and it kind of locked up a little bit. I have cranked this thing before a little while ago after letting it sit, and it has a gallop. But what I want to do is I would like to go ahead and try and replace this freeze plug. Hopefully it's one we can get to, and then I'd like to go ahead and pop a new one in, throw some water in it, and see how it runs, and if we can drive it a little bit, because I would like to cruise around in this thing. I do like the way it drives, and I actually have a few things I need to finish up on it. That was really aggressive. It kind of scared me. I'm just waking up, so I'm like, oh god. Might be level enough to put some gas in her. guys hear that 4Runner? Like, why? It's so stupid. Oh, that just barely fits. I modified this funnel to, well, I mean, it still fit in my diesel fuel neck, but I cut the end off so I could get all of the volumes in there. How do I want to pick this up? I have to be careful with my left arm. So maybe I'll just, can we pick it up like this and use our left arm to aim? Maybe we could do that. These spill-free, less mess deals. What a crock. I just take these things right, the fill nozzles off and just dump them in like this with a funnel. Way easier. I'm hoping the batteries aren't dead on this. I had to move this a few weeks ago just by cranking it, and it seemed like both batteries were still chooched pretty good. I did put the battery charger on it. So we'll see. Okay. Why did I have to move the truck? Well, my landlord's been digging up around the house and making a trough for like a drip line or whatever, and he's redoing some of the drainage. Okay. I haven't even put my aftermarket gauges in. And, you know, maybe the factory gauge was lying to me and it was actually running hot. Don't know. Clutch still feels like it's got a clutch. Parking brake don't work. I got light up here. Gotta put the right key in. What? Somewhat promising. Any leaks? I did unplug the ignition. I unplugged the choke and everything because we had to drive this. We flat towed it. All right, let's see. Take two. It runs. Well, it still kind of feels peppy. It does have an exhaust leak. I thought I saw some smoke, but I'm not sure if it was just condensation from the muffler, because it does have a muffler in it. Now, I'm not going to get my hopes up, but if we can get this to hold coolant, if we can replace that freeze plug, I think what we'll do is we'll finish my exhaust that I have for this. and then maybe go take it for a drive, put some more gas in, who knows. Well, already I can't see jack diddly. Do we need to take the oil filter off? Yeah, so you got our exhaust system haphazardly cobbled together. I gotta put the tailpipes in. Yeah, freaking Bilstein shocks and everything in here, and then it's like, yep, nope. I can't see anything from under here, so maybe I have to climb into the old engine bay there. I know it was from this frontal area. It blew. Might actually need an oil change after all. Well, I still can't see nothing up there. Let me get a towel. It's really hard to say what freeze plug blew. It was definitely down below. I might have to crawl in here a little bit further, actually. Get a better look. Well, annoyingly, the potentially suspect freeze plugs are behind the motor mount. Looks like there's two, and then there's like another one in the back where behind the dipstick. I can see that one, but it looks fine. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour some water in it, and we're gonna see where that water leaks out of. Well, annoyingly, you're gonna hear that Honda Civic on a stick. Just kidding. But wonderful. Let's put some water in here, and we're gonna see where she comes out at. I got the GoPro down below so you guys can maybe see where it's gonna come from. Oh, come on. What I'm annoyed with is they started doing that weed whacking over there. Just before I started doing this, I wanted to be able to hear where the water's coming from, so I know when to stop. Guess we'll just keep going. You guys tell me when to stop. Oh, dripping around the GoPro. Wouldn't it be funny if there's a crack in the block? Yeah, it's that one right behind the motor mount. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I want to do a little checky check with the temp gun here. What I want to do is run this for a little bit and put the temp gun on each cylinder and see which one's not firing. Because here's what I'm thinking. If we're going to pull the engine out and just to throw a freeze plug in it so we can drive it, but still have internal engine damage, which I'm pretty certain we do, I'm kind of at that point where, you know, if one of the cylinders is not firing, it's not going to be worth it to put a freeze plug in, right? So might as well just throw another motor at it. The other idea is, if it doesn't smoke too bad and it runs okay and we're kind of firing on that cylinder, we just run her until it blows up. I didn't even touch the throttle, it just started. Oh yeah, she's shaking. Yep. So you hear that riggedy-bee, riggedy-bee, riggedy-bee. We got a cylinder that's down. It's looking like it might be this one in the back here. So I think what we'll try in the next video, what we'll do is we'll get the engine hoist on this and we'll grab onto one of these brackets. We'll undo the motor mount from the frame and the engine block, and we'll see if we can get in there and knock whatever freeze plug blew out, and then replace it with a new one. And if we can get it to hold water and build pressure, then maybe we'll just run it until it starts burning oil or whatever. Yeah, so otherwise I don't really feel like putting an engine in it just yet. I have to, I'd have to get one. I was thinking of maybe getting something from an Explorer. I think that's going to require me getting a different intake manifold and possibly a different distributor. But that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. Short term, I think we should put a freeze plug in it, run this thing, and then, once it starts giving us more issues, we'll park it. We'll get another engine for it, and I'm thinking we could either do a 351 or we can get an Explorer 302. I would like to keep the 302 just for the fact that I got a carburetor for a 302. Like, I sized this one just for this carb, or for this engine. And then the fact that I can kind of get decent fuel economy out of it is a plus. So I don't know, but then again, this is not a daily driver. This is my other toy. So I don't know. Kind of thinking about keeping it a 302, especially because I got the power steering pump for a 302. I don't know if it's different for a 351. Of course, there's a ridiculous idea of putting a 12-valve Cummins in here, but I just don't want to spend that much money. I'd rather just get an engine for a couple $100 or whatever. Throw some stuff at it, gaskets, whatnot, and then ploop, right back in here. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Just kind of a short video, but I wanted to get something out and give you guys an update on the junkyard truck. It's hurting a little bit. We have at least one cylinder that's dead. But I think we can run it for a little bit. Who knows? That cylinder may even come back around. There's probably some stuff in the piston, lock the rings together. Who knows? Anyways, I think I'm gonna go park this back over in timeout corner, and then call it a day.